to describe somebody who was physically, mentally, or emotionally not ready for a task or a situation. And so that's where many of us are. We know what we should be doing, but we just feel like our hands are empty. We are not ready to complete the task set before us. We're stuck in our heads because years have passed, seasons have passed, and we just didn't put in that foundational work. And so, full transparency for me, a lot of times I do feel unprepared. I do feel empty handed. And a lot of that can come from just myself, like my journey, the things that I went through, just growing up in church when I should have been doing the things I didn't. Simply probably because of people. People are mean, they're judgmental. You feel disliked, you feel misunderstood, you feel like you don't belong. You feel like people don't want to hear from you. You feel like people are judging you and comparing you. So you just step back and be like, I don't have to do this. You don't have to. And so also I realized some of the reason why I was unprepared is because outside of that outside stuff, internally, I squandered it too, because of decisions I made, times I intentionally didn't sow into my relationship. So now I don't have fruit or, harvest to show. And I know I'm not the only one, probably. Some of us know that we're called, but we also know we're not where we're supposed to be. We've had time, we had opportunities, and we didn't always use them for whatever reason. And so now we're just standing here asking ourselves, if I didn't do right, if I didn't, stay the course, if I didn't do the right things, if I didn't sow the seeds, if I didn't take advantage of the seasons, feels like I don't have much to show. So right now in this moment when I'm standing here and I'm supposed to go forward, it's kind of like, what really do I have left? After all that time that I let pass by, what do I have left to give? And even deeper than that, is what I have left enough? Is it enough for God to use? Is it enough to make a difference? Or should I just sit back and be quiet and let somebody else that I feel is more qualified just do it? And it can be because, life is heavy. We got kids and all of that stuff. Sometimes it feels like so much is going on that we're just trying to figure out how to breathe within life, and just adding something else onto it can just be so much, just too much. And so what I'm learning is, even though I'm not prepared, which I can honestly say, it doesn't mean that I'm not called. Even if I feel like I don't have much, I still have something. I still have something left. And whatever that is, I have to give it to God so that he can multiply it. And so in doing this message, it's kind of been like my personal foundation in this message. So a lot of this, I'm really saying me and talking to myself. I know other people might can relate, but I feel like it's me because this is really where I have been, where I just have always just felt like I didn't deserve. I felt unworthy. I also felt unmotivated. And honestly, a lot of times, because of all the stuff that's going around on the outside, I just felt uninterested, because it just felt like I got too much on me to try to devote to that, because I know I won't do the right thing with it. So why even try? So, because so much has happened, like I said, I got so much responsibility, so much weight. I just don't want to add something else on top of that, which is wrong, but you can't help what your mind feels. Until, I couldn't focus. I didn't study. Of course, my prayer life was in shambles. I wasn't praying. I didn't really have a relationship like I should have. I was just distracted because life, my decisions, responsibilities, mistakes, everything is heavy. It's heavy. And overall, I just felt like I keep making the biggest mistakes. I keep missing it, and I keep missing it. And then at the same time, now I'm resentful because I'm missing it. And now I'm experiencing things because of decisions I made, and then I'm sitting in it, and now I'm guilty. So now, because I'm guilty, I can't step forward, because of the decisions I made, the times I started, the times I stopped, the times I knew what I was supposed to do and I didn't do. And a lot of times with all of that, now I'm scared because I don't know what to do. So now I'm stuck there because all the stuff that I was doing, now I feel how I feel about myself, and I'm projecting that from the inside outward. So now I'm just standing there. Then I'm intimidated because I feel like I'm so far behind in life, and I'm hearing these messages and these words from people telling me, you're supposed to do this, you're supposed to do that. And it's like, how can I do and be that when I don't have anything? I don't have anything. But at the same time, I'm still feeling convicted. And I really had to sit with this one. Maybe I'm not being punished, because a lot of times I felt like the life I lived, the decisions I made, the wrong things I did, the things that I let pass, I felt like I was being punished. And I had to come to the idea, well, I'm not being punished. Yes, sometimes we do face the consequences of the decisions that we made, but I'm not living in the punishment. But I still felt like I can't stand here. I can't lead. I can't speak. I can't step in what I was called into. But truth is, I'm still here. We're all still here. We're still standing. We're still called. was still being pulled. And you know you're still being pulled because why else would you be here other than that? And that's what brought me back to the question, what is it that I really have left? I didn't leave God. None of us left God. We just hid from what we were supposed to do. Again, these messages over the last few weeks have been preparing us or just telling us and reiterating what we already know to get in position, stop being intimidated, walk in who we are, believe what God said about us. But here's the problem again. We feel it, we hear it, we might believe it, but we can't internalize it because we're unprepared. Our hands are empty. We don't know what to do. We feel empty handed. Like for me, like I can go back to say you tell me I'm going to make some kind of food, but I don't have that in my house. So you can tell me all you want to, that I'm going to make this big meal. If I don't have the ingredients, I don't have anything in my hand, it's not going to happen. So I'm unprepared. Somehow, some way, the ingredients for me to make that meal has to come from somewhere. So I do struggle with that daily, just being back and forth. I want to step forward and talking myself out of it because I don't feel like I deserve it because I know what I didn't do. And that's where you had to check my mind. I had to check my mind. So this passage has become a regular affirmation for me. So I don't know. I can go to Philippians 4 and 8 to 9. And I think this is the message. I think. No, Message Bible, the version of it. Sorry. Sorry. And it says, filling your minds and meditating on things true, noble, reputable, authentic, compelling, gracious, the best, not the worst, the beautiful, not the ugly, things to praise, not things to curse. And so when we change our mindset, see what happens is these next verses. It says, put into practice what you learned from me, what you heard and saw and realized. Do that, and God, who makes everything work together, will work you into his most excellent harmonies. So when we change our mindset, that's when we can now get the ingredients, and the preparation is now beginning. We just have to get out of our minds and stop thinking that we can't because of what we see or what we don't see. Because if my mind stays on what I didn't do, what I don't have, what I miss, I'll never move. So he's telling us to fix our thoughts, stop thinking on what's missing, what's broken, where we failed at. Because if our minds stay there, that's where we'll stay. And so that brought me to another thing. When I was a child in church, we used to like have quartet singers that come all the time. And so it was this one quartet where this man would sing this song and he would be like, for such as I have. And when I was a kid, I didn't know what that was, but it sounded different because I never heard the word for such as. And then he would like say an ad lib like for such as, and that would like it would make you pay attention. But at the time I didn't understand what that meant. But now I understand. If I don't have everything, I might feel like I don't even have much because maybe I squandered it. Maybe I never developed it. But what I do have, I'm giving it. Because the truth is we can keep saying we have nothing, but it's not that we don't have anything. It's just that we have an unsprouted harvest. We didn't do what we were supposed to do. We still have the seed. It may be hidden. It might be weak. It might be dusty. It may feel like it's gone, but it's still there. So if you can go to Acts 3 and 6. And this is Peter and Jesus were walking into the temple for prayer. And there was a man standing outside. And the man standing outside, he was crippled. And the common thing was he was sitting outside the door and people would always come up, give him change, whatever. That's what, if somebody saw him there, everybody would just go to give change. But when Peter walked up, Peter said, I don't have a nickel to my name. He said, but what I do have, and in the King James Version, it says, for such as I have, I'll give to you. So he said, in the name of Jesus Christ of Nazareth, walk. He grabbed him by his right hand and pulled him up. And in an instant, his feet and ankles became firm. He jumped to his feet and walked. Now, this man was crippled from birth. He was sitting at the entrance of the temple looking for something from someone. Have you ever been in a position where you're in a place where you know somebody is going to require something of you, but you feel like you're not prepared for what they're used to getting? And so that's where Peter was. And he also was walking beside Jesus. He could have cowered back and be like, well, Jesus can handle it. He's got it. I'm unprepared. I'm intimidated because this is Jesus beside me. But instead, he didn't do that. He stepped up, and instead of walking away, he said, for such as I have. And in that moment, the man received what he needed, which was his healing. How long had he been standing there just taking nickels and dimes from people? And Peter, who came and said, I don't have anything but for such as I have, and he gave him exactly what it was that he needed. He stood up and he walked. And all he had was for such as. He wasn't prepared. He didn't come with nickels to give this man. He gave him for such as, which is for him to open up his mouth and say, in the name of Jesus, get up and walk. Sometimes that's all we need is just our voice and our words. He didn't wait until he had more. He gave exactly what he had. Another example, I'm not going to probably read this one, but it's 1 Kings 17 and 12. It's about the widow of Zarephath. Elijah came to Zarephath, and he was told by God that there was a widow in the town that would take care of him. And so when he went to her, she was like, I don't have nothing for you. But still, she had very little, and she still was prepared to give, even though she felt like her seed was so small that when she prepared what she had was so small that when she prepared it, she would die along with her seed. But instead of that, she gave what she had, even though it was almost nothing. She gave anyway, and God still sustained her. He sustained her so much that her cabinets were full, only because she had the faith to give what it was she had, even though she believed that her and her seed was going to die because of it. The small caused her to be used for what God called her to do, because she was called to make Elijah feel welcome and to take care of him. And then even in that, when she blessed him, later on, her son died. And that caused Elijah prayed over her son and brought her son up simply because she believed and she kept him there. So the next thing is the woman with the issue of blood. That's in Mark 5 and 25. Want to go there? This woman, she had an issue of blood for 12 years. And she was suffering. She went to like a whole bunch of specialists, tried to find ways to help her to be healed. And she had no resources. So again, her hands were empty. So she felt like Jesus came in around and she thought to herself, I don't have nothing. My hands are empty. But if I can just reach and touch him, I'll be healed. So that small reach that she did, and she got all the healing of 12 years of suffering. Her reach was so strong, though, that small reach, it was so strong that in the whole crowd of where she was, Jesus knew it was her that touched him. So it's just amazing that she had no resources, but she knew that her hands were empty. All she had to do was do a small reach, and that small reach brought power. So much power that God knew it was her. I'm almost done. So I also tried to find just one more person in the Bible who just speaks to being truly called but unprepared, and I came to Jeremiah. I feel like Jeremiah's call here is a call to action to us, which was interesting to me. So if you want to go to James 1 and 1. No, I'll probably start at verse 5. And this is Jesus talking to Jeremiah. He said, well, God, the eternal one. He was talking to Jeremiah. But thank you. Before I even formed you in your mother's womb, I knew all about you. Before you drew your first breath, I had already chosen you to be my prophet, to speak my word to the nations. Jeremiah came back and he said, eternal Lord, I'm too young and inexperienced. I'm unprepared. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. I can't speak for you. God came back and he said, don't use your youth as an excuse. Don't use that you're unprepared as an excuse. Don't use that you don't know what you're supposed to do as an excuse. You can and you will go wherever I send you. You can and you will say whatever I tell you to say. You have no reason to fear the people you speak to. You have no reason to feel intimidated. You have no reason to feel like you shouldn't be there, for I am with you and I will defend you. Then he reached out and he touched his mouth and he gave him the words to say. So just like us, it was spoken to directly to us what his plans are for us. Yet we come back, I'm unprepared, I'm too young, I'm inexperienced, I'm not enough. But God tells us what we can and we will do. We can no longer use I don't know how, I don't know what, or I'm unprepared as an excuse anymore. The call to action is you can and you will. No matter what we feel we don't know, no matter what we feel that we can't do, no matter if we feel we're unprepared, whether we're walking along or around some people that we feel like we're intimidated by, the call can also be intimidating. What we're told to do can be intimidating. This right here, I feel like in Jeremiah is our call to action. And so I came to a realization, because I keep asking, what is it that I have left? I wasted so much time. Really, what is it? I have to recognize and realize that I do have something. I have breath, I have voice, I have experience. We all have unique experience that somebody needs to hear, somebody wants to hear. And we all have faith. And that's really enough. So because of that call to action, I had declared over myself, and I even would encourage you to do the same, that God, I may not have much because I squandered it. I may have lost it, or maybe it's not even developed yet. But what I do have, I'm giving it to you because you are a sure investment that can make something small great. So he's not asking you for what you don't have. He's asking you for what you do have. And he knows what you have because he gave it to you. He even knew that maybe you wouldn't sow it in the way that you're supposed to. And he knew you wouldn't cultivate it, but still take that step, take that reach, still do it. Because the preparation, as we saw, it comes along the journey. So all you have to do is take the first step. And Jeremiah, he told us, I'll put the words in your mouth. I'll prepare you. I'll defend you. Don't be intimidated. Don't be afraid. And so whatever you do have left, whatever it is, just pick it up and move forward. And I'm done. I was going to see if anybody else.
Mm-hmm. Ooh. Walked in tired, heart worn thin. Thought I'd hide way in the back again, but they called my name, smiled like they knew my pain, opened their